Hello, Mr. Jones here again. I'm going to show you how to use complementary colors to shade things. So just to review real quick, let's make a quick color wheel here. Okay, so if you remember, yellow is one of the primary colors. And then we have red is another primary color. Primary colors make all the colors that you see. Blue is another primary color. So those are the three primaries. They actually make all the colors that you see. When you mix yellow and blue together, you get green. That's a secondary color. And when you mix yellow and red together, you get orange. Okay. And when you mix blue and red together, you get violet or purple. The correct word for this color is violet, so if you want to be a fancy artist, then you use that. So complementary colors are across from each other on the color wheel. So my color wheel is a little messed up here, but the complementary color of orange is blue. The complementary color of yellow is violet. The complementary color of red is green. That's probably the most famous because you have that during Christmas. Okay, so let's just say I have an orange ball. I'm drawing an orange ball here. Okay, and I'll do a little shading with the orange. Okay. Now, most people, or some people, would assume that you would get your black color pencil and you would use that to create the shading. But what an artist will do is use the complementary color instead. So the complementary color of orange is blue. And so I'm going to use the blue here very lightly to create my shading, and it makes for a much more subtle thing. And you'll see that it's not really reading as blue, it's just kind of looks like I've shaded it. Okay, that's partly because I'm not pushing too hard down on the pencil. Okay, so just to demonstrate the difference, let me take and draw another sphere here. Do some quick shading on it. It's always good to practice shading your spheres. These aren't the greatest color pencils in the world that I have. They were pretty cheap. So now I'm going to use black, and you'll see how it just kind of takes over the picture and it becomes too dark too fast. And it's just too much. Now, I'm not saying that you can't use black. Some people like to use black. But if you're not careful with it, it can really take over your picture. So let's say green. I have something that's green, a leaf or something, and I'm going to draw some leaves here, do some shading. Now it's always nice to make your secondary colors yourself, so in the other video I showed you how to do that. So now the complementary color of green is red. So instead of black, I'm going to use a little bit of red where I want it to be a little bit darker. Now I don't have enough green, so this is coming out looking like red. So what I'm going to do is come back, and over the top of my red I'm going to add, and you'll see how that tones it down, and now it's starting to look just like I put some shading in there. Okay, so if I had yellow, the complementary color is purple. So if I had something that was yellow, I could use purple as the shading, so, or violet. So a yellow ball here. Okay, now this does not work quite as well as the other colors, but it does work. So I'm going to use the purple to shade it a little bit there. Okay, so you see it came out really purple because the yellow isn't really that strong. Now I can again come back with some more yellow over the top to kind of tone it down a bit, but it's not really going to do much. Now, one thing you can do is instead of using the complementary colors for each color is just to pick one color. So if I decided for my whole picture to just use blue, so it doesn't matter what's in my picture. So I have like somebody's pants. I can draw it and shade it using the purple, and then their sneakers coming out here. Okay. And I would draw and shade the entire picture using just the purple. So I've done this too with painting, where I paint the entire picture with purple, doing all my shading and everything, and then I just come back over the top of it with the colors that I want. So I can come back over this and make the jeans blue. Get the blue on there. Sorry, yeah, almost can't see it. And what will happen is the purple will kind of disappear. So let's say I want my shoe to be green. I will just right over the top of it. And what happens is it starts to dull the color down and it becomes more thing. I'll make the socks orange. Okay. So you can just pick one color and use that instead of using black, because black ends up becoming too dark, and it takes over your whole picture. It's literally like a black hole on your picture. So artists will mostly use color to shade with instead of black.